This is Chris Medeiros. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word for Chris. And subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. It'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown January 6, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Friday Night SmackDown. Now we kick off the show with the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn, the Bloodline, coming out, destroying some stuff at ringside, throwing around chairs and all that stuff. Doing the same thing that they was doing last week on Raw. So yeah, they was doing the same thing up until the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, Roman Reigns, and Paul Heyman came out. And, they all got into the ring, settled down, so they stopped destroying stuff. And Roman Reigns, starts talking on the mic, telling everybody to acknowledge him, and he says that they're going to be doing something a little bit different. They're going to let the honorary Uce, Sami Zayn, speak. And so he gives the mic to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn starts talking about how this year is going to be the year of the Bloodline. They've been showing what they're going to be doing on Raw and tonight on SmackDown, and that, everything's going to go perfectly fine. He said, look at Solo, he won his match on Raw, and then the Usos and me, I won the match on Raw, and that's what he was talking about, how this year's going to be a great year for the Bloodline. So yeah, that's what Sami starts talking about, and then Roman grabs the mic and he goes like, look, I'm just going to tell you, I don't care about anything about this year. I don't care about it. I want to talk about last week. And then he starts talking about what happened in last week's episode of SmackDown. So he goes like, yeah, me, Roman, and Sami Zayn had a match against John Cena and Kevin Owens in a tag team match. And he said last week on SmackDown, I didn't lose. So that's what Roman was saying. He's saying that he didn't lose at all. He said Sami was the one that lost. Sami was the one that had his shoulders down the mat, and he didn't. So yeah, that's what Roman was talking about. Talking about how Sami Zayn was the one that lost the match, and Roman didn't lose the match at all. So yeah, that's what Roman was talking about. But then he starts talking about how the issue I got with, I don't got an issue about what happened with the match and all that. The issue I got with is you claimed that you was going to win, and you didn't. And that issue is, you think that you are the tribal chief. You want to be me. So yeah, that's what Roman starts talking about, and he starts going off on Sami about that. Talking about, I'm the one that claimed that I'm the one that says if I'm going to do something, I do it. You said that, and you couldn't even get the job done, and you trying to be me. So yeah, that's what Roman was saying. He starts going off on Sami about it. But then while he was going off on Sami, Kevin Owens comes out with the mic in his hands, and he starts talking about, I don't care what's going on or whatever, but you say you got KO problem. And he goes like, you know what? I want to challenge you in a match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. And Roman was like, I don't care. I really don't care at all. I just want to get rid of you. I want you to disappear forever. So yeah, that's what Roman was saying to Kevin Owens, and yep, that's what happened there. Roman got challenged for the titles at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, at the Rumble, it looks like that match will possibly be happening. But yep, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment though to kick off SmackDown. Later on tonight, they got the Usos defending the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships up against Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. That match was supposed to happen a few weeks ago, but it didn't happen because Drew got injured. So yeah, it's finally happening. But yeah, many more stuff to happen on SmackDown as well. So yeah, see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until the... So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about the match, there's a few things. Now we've seen Charlotte Flair pulling up to SmackDown. So yeah, she'll be on SmackDown later on tonight. And then we get to the next match. It was one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods at ringside, the New Day versus Santos Escobar with Joaquin Wilde Cruz del Toro, and Zelina Vega. Legado del Fantasma at ringside as well. So yeah, Kofi Kingston versus Santos Escobar 1-on-1. And the reason why this match is happening, because the New Day was getting interviewed backstage earlier today, and Legado interrupted them, and Santos was talking about how that Kofi has done spectacular things in the Rumble by ways of not getting eliminated. But he says that at the Rumble, he will be the one to eliminate Kofi Kingston. So yeah, that's what Santos said, and that's why this match came all about. So yeah, we had this match underway, and it was going pretty good and stuff. During this match, we seen pretty much Santos throw Kofi over the top rope, and then Kofi was on the apron. He gets drop kicked off the apron. He was doing that handstand like he did at the Rumble years ago. So yeah, he did the same thing to like not have his feet touch the floor. He gets back into the ring, and he throws Santos over the top rope, and Santos touched the floor and all that stuff. So yeah, and Santos got mad about that. So yeah, pretty funny stuff right there. And it was going back and forth during this match. Kofi starts taking control of this match. He gets the boom drop onto Santos. He goes to the corner, setting up for trouble in paradise. Up until we seen Joaquin Wilde distracting the referee, and then on the other side, Cruz del Toro grabbing Kofi Kingston's foot. And while he was grabbing Kofi's foot, Zelina Vega was distracting Xavier Woods out there at ringside, getting face-to-face with him. Kingston kicks Cruz del Toro off of him and all that stuff, and then he turns around. He gets drop-kicked in the face by Santos. Santos picks him up on his shoulders, hitting the Phantom Driver onto Kofi, and then pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Santos Escobar defeated Kofi Kingston tonight on SmackDown. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good start for SmackDown. So yeah, that's why I'll give the match. But then, after that, they announced that it is official. Roman Reigns will be defending the titles up against Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. So yeah, that match is now made official. And then after that, we see Sami Zayn going up to the locker room, knocking on the Bloodline's door. Paul Heyman comes out and goes like, well, Roman don't want to see you at this moment and all that stuff. And then we see the Usos walk by, and they walk into the locker room, and Paul Heyman was like, remember what we said last week, the Bloodline always stays 3 steps ahead of everybody else. We cannot stay 3 steps back, but just know this, I love you still, Sammy. So yeah, that's what Paul Heyman said. But yep, that's what happened there. So yeah, I will see you guys later until the next thing that happens on SmackDown. So the next thing that happened on SmackDown, it was a mixed tag team match. But before I talk about that mixed tag team match, there's a few things we got to talk about now. We had Liv Morgan talking about the Royal Rumble, where there can only be one winner and all that. And she says that there's always chaos for that one person and all that, but she says that she loves chaos. So yeah, that's what she said. But yep, she's going to be the Rumble. And then after that, we see LA Knight talking about, getting interviewed and stuff, talking about his match against Bray Wyatt at the Rumble in the Pitch Black match. So yeah, they got that match at the Rumble, and LA Knight was talking about how Bray Wyatt got laid out last week by one of his people and all that. And he says that he don't care what's been going on. He says that it's going to be pretty much easy pickings for him. He said when the lights go out, Bray Wyatt goes out too. So yeah, that's what LA Knight was saying. But yep, he says that he's going to defeat Bray at the Rumble. And then after that, we finally get to the match. It was Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus Madcap Moss and Emma in a mixed tag team match. It was a pretty good match. Scarlett doing pretty good now. This is Scarlett's first match ever in the WWE. She never even had a match on NXT before or on SmackDown. So yeah, this is her first match ever in the WWE, on TV at least. So yeah, it was a pretty good match. Emma and Scarlett was doing pretty good. Emma pinned Scarlett, but Karrion Kross broke up the pin at the count of 2 by dragging Emma off of her. And then Emma slaps Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross starts backing her into the corner. Madcap tags himself in. Madcap was doing pretty good against Kross. And then outside of the ring, we see Emma go up to Scarlett, but Scarlett runs Emma into the ring post and throws her over the announce table and all that, taking her out. Madcap Moss was trying to hit that spear onto Karrion Kross in the corner. Karrion Kross moves out the way, and then Madcap smacks that second turnbuckle, and then Cross hits him in the back of the head with the cross hammer, and then locks on the Cross jacket onto Madcap Moss, making him tap out. So yeah, Karrion Kross and Scarlett defeated Madcap Moss and Emma tonight in the mixed tag team match. That's what happened. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Scarlett did pretty good and stuff, and then after the match ended, Karrion Kross grabs one of he had one of Rey Mysterio's mask and puts it on Madcap Moss's head and had that card. So yeah, that's what happened there. But yep, up next we're going to be seeing Charlotte Flair on SmackDown up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, now we have the next segment of the night. It was the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair. She makes her way down to the ring. And yeah, she is a babyface now after returning after last week's SmackDown and all that. So yeah, she comes into the ring. Fans are cheering for her and all that, saying thank you, Charlotte, for what she did last week. And Charlotte was like, wow, I never thought that. Nobody was going to ever tell me that before. And she says that's actually pretty cool, whatever. So yeah, that's what she was saying. And then she starts talking about the SmackDown Women's Championship and about defeating Ronda Rousey last week and being out for 8 months and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Charlotte was talking about. But then she gets interrupted by Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville comes out talking crap to Charlotte, talking about, hey, if it wasn't for Ronda already being tired, you wouldn't ever beat her last week. That's just the truth, and you just came out surprising her and stuff. So yeah, that's what she was saying. She goes like, well, how about you fight a real fighter like me? And then all of a sudden, Charlotte and the fans starts calling Sonya a trick. So yeah, that's what was going on. And Sonya had enough, and she says, how about you defend your title against me? And then Charlotte accepted. So yeah, we get the impromptu match. It was the SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, versus Sonya Deville, one-on-one for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. Sonya doing pretty good. But then we get to the ending where we see Charlotte hitting a big boot onto Sonya. Sonya rolls out the ring. Charlotte tries to grab her, and then Sonya pulls her head down the top rope. And then Sonya gets back into the ring, and then she gets hit with a spear by Charlotte. And then Charlotte locks on the figure 8, making Sonya tap out. So yeah, Charlotte Flair defeated Sonya Deville tonight and has retained the SmackDown Women's Championship. That's what happened. It was a pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. So yep, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see the Cody Rhodes video package, which was still pretty cool. But yep, that's what happened there. And still to come later on tonight, we will see Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos later on tonight for the tag team titles in the main event. And I forgot to mention that they actually did have a segment as well. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus was in the bar hyping each other up, telling them how they're going to defeat the Usos and win the tag team titles. So yeah, that's what happened there. Forgot to mention that. But yep, that's what's going to be happening later on tonight. And then up next, it'll be Ricochet versus Top Dollar in a qualifying match up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. It was Ricochet versus Top Dollar, one-on-one, and he was with Ashante Adonis and B-Fab Hit Row at ringside. So yeah, a one-on-one match. It was the Royal Rumble qualifying match with these two guys. Top Dollar pretty much starts dominating the match right off the gate, beating Ricochet down, hitting big boots and all that stuff. Just tossing him around, but the match didn't last long. I think it only lasted like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, or something like that. At one point, we see Ricochet rolling Top Dollar up in the inside cradle, pinning him, but Top Dollar barely kicking out at 2. He throws Ricochet to the ropes. Ricochet comes back with a slinging slice bread onto Top Dollar. He climbs up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with a shooting star press onto him, and pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Ricochet defeated Top Dollar tonight, and he has qualified into the Royal Rumble match. That's what happened. It was an okay match, I guess. I give that match 1.5 stars. And that's why I'll give it. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after the match ended, it looked like Top Dollar was pretty much okay with Ricochet. He shakes his hand and all that stuff, raises his hands and all that. But then all of a sudden, Ashante Adonis kicks Ricochet in the face. B-Fab starts kicking him in the face as well, and then Top Dollar beating him down and stuff, saying, you think you're better than me and all that stuff. just beating him down. Hit Row's just beating Ricochet down. So yeah, they finally officially turned heel after beating Ricochet down. But then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman comes running down, and Hit Row quickly got out the ring, and Braun Strowman standing tall right beside Ricochet. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then after that, we see a segment backstage with the Usos. They are walking out the bloodline, out Roman Reigns' locker room, saying, "We got this," and all that stuff. So yeah, they're going to go defend the tag team titles up next in the main event. And Roman tells Paul Heyman to call Sami Zayn in there, and Paul Heyman starts calling Sami Zayn. So yeah, that's what happened there. We're going to have to see what they got to say up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, and before I talk about the main event and everything, there was a segment backstage where we see Roman Reigns sitting down with Paul Heyman in there, and then Sami Zayn comes into the locker room. He goes like, "So you wanted to speak to me?" And Roman Reigns tells him to sit down. They start talking. Roman starts telling him, like, he says, "You know what, for once, Kevin Owens was right," and all that stuff. But before he actually starts saying that, Sami Zayn starts apologizing to him and everything about everything that's been going on. He say he don't want to take the tribal chief spot or nothing like that. And Roman, he starts talking, and then he says Kevin Owens was right for once, and he says that I'm not mad at you, I'm mad at Kevin Owens. I want to say I'm sorry for that. And Sami Zayn was like, "No, it's fine. You don't need to apologize or anything." And then Paul Heyman tells Sami Zayn, he goes like, "Well, just to let you know, we got you in a match next week against Kevin Owens." So yeah, that match is now made official. But yep, that's what happened there. And then the Usos theme starts playing, and Sami was like, "Well, let me go out there with them." And Roman was like, "No, you sit down. You're going to watch the match with me." And they watching the match from backstage. And then we get to the match. It was the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay the Usos, with Solo Sikoa at ringside, versus Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships in the main event. Now, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. At one point, we see McIntyre hit that front flip over the top rope onto the Usos, taking them out. He throws Jay back into the ring, hits the Claymore onto him, pins him 1-2. Jimmy breaks up the pin at the count of 2. Eventually, Drew was trying to run and, hit like a spear or whatever onto Jay, but Jay moved out of the way, and Drew hits the shoulder onto the ring post. Sheamus tags himself in. Sheamus doing some work and everything, picks up one of the Usos up until Jimmy pulls Jay off his shoulders and stuff. And then they both hit a double super kick on Sheamus. And then it hits the 1D onto Sheamus, pins him. 1-2. Drew McIntyre breaks up the pin at the count of 2. All of them's going at it inside the ring and stuff. Drew goes outside the ring, beating down Jimmy and stuff like that. And then we see the referee getting distracted. Solo starts interfering. He hits a Samoan spike onto Drew, and then his spinning Solo onto Drew on the barricade, taking him out for the rest of the match. Butch and Ridge Holland comes down, brawling with Solo, and they all go brawling and stuff. And then we see Sheamus jump off the top turnbuckle onto the Usos outside the ring, taking them out. He throws Jay back in there, about to hit the high cross or whatever onto, he's about to hit, I think the white noise onto Jimmy, and then Jay gets on the ring apron. Sheamus kicks him in the face, and then Jimmy gets off of Sheamus' shoulders, rolls him up, pinning him, and Jay helping him out, using his feet and stuff, pulling him with leverage, and they got the 3 counts. So yeah, the Usos defeated Sheamus and Drew McIntyre tonight in the tag team match, and they have retained the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That's what happened. Really good match. I give the match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give. Actually, I'll give it 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was match of the night, in my opinion. Really good match. If you have yet, go check it out. But yeah, for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown, I gotta give it 8 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode of SmackDown. Pretty good main event and stuff. So yeah, pretty good stuff though. So yeah, that has been my SmackDown reviews. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Vales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for this Monday Night Raw reviews. See you guys later until then.